Thank God we got working. We got it working, right? Oh my God. Oh my
Exactly. Hello. All right. So Bonnie, go to Madeline's texting. She's like, I don't see you guys on Facebook. Just going live now. Go to the Plant Chicks page and share the live. You're going to share it onto your personal page, and I'll share it on mine. I'm going to share it in the tribe too.
So, okay. Go to Facebook, go to Plant Chicks.
Yeah. You guys, we're going to get started in 1 minute. We're trying to share this.
Okay. Share. Just share now?
Yeah.
I'm live with.
Yes. I'm going to share it.
Okay.
You guys, it's going to be a good one. Bonnie has such an amazing story and book.
So excited to be on another live. This is my second live ever. We just did Instagram, which was so much fun. And now this is Facebook. So, yeah.
And you know what? You might be able to share it on Love Bonnie as well.
Oh, let's see if I could do that. Thank you.
And I'm going to try and share it in our page tribe.
Share to my pages. Is that my page? Share to a group? Share to a page? Share to a page. Share to Love Bonnie. Oh my God. Look at this. Oh, Jackie, you're so good at this.
Right? I'm learning, girl. Group.
You have a lot more experience than I do with this.
I've been doing this a minute. Okay.
I've just been posting cakes. I've just been posting pictures of cakes and happy birthdays to people.
I love it. Good morning. Look, we've got all these people joining us. Say hi. And if you are joining, you know where I'm also going to send it? I'm going to share it in our one more group.
Okay.
Sober. Okay. I think
is this a dance party too? I know you do a lot of Plant Chicks dance parties. So
yes. So you guys, it's funny. So I woke up this morning. I was talking to Bonnie before we did the live on Instagram, and I'm like, "Did you go walking this morning? Because you're a big walker. You love being outside in nature, riding your bike." And you're like, "No, I danced for 30 minutes. Next time we do a live, we do need to do a dance party. You might have to teach me one of your dances."
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started. My name is Jackie. I'm co-founder of Plant Chicks, and I have a very dear friend of mine on live today because she has recently published her memoir, Love Bonnie. I know Bonnie. I've known Bonnie for years now, and I know her from recovery. And we are going to dive deep into some of the insane stories that she shares about in her book. But before that, Bonnie, why don't you say hi and introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Bonnie, and it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Jackie, for doing this live Facebook, and we did a live Instagram earlier, and I'm very excited to be with you. I love you dearly. So this is just like hanging out, talking to a friend with a couple of people be listening in the world that might too. But, you know, it's just like being with you. So I feel very good.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you here. First of all, I've known you for a while, and you and I have communicated like over email. I mean, we talk over email, over text, and I've read some of the things that you've written before, and never like a published book or anything, but I've always loved the way you write, and words just flow from you freely. So what you've done in your book, Love Bonnie, it's like a compilation of short stories of your crazy life that you led before, that you had before you came into recovery, and now what it's like in recovery, and seeing the growth that you've had throughout all these years. And it's so amazing. Like you have these stories, and you're talking about all the craziness in your life, and then at the end of this story, you like wrap it up with a pretty bow, and you kind of say like what your truth is now. Can you talk a little bit about that and how you how you communicated that in your stories.
Thank you. Well, first of all, the words did gush when I made the decision. Oh, I'm going to write a book, and it started. Hi, Maddie. Started with some little snippets, and all the words just gush, 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 gush. My friend Michael turned me on to his. He wrote a great book called Changes, and he turned me on to his editor. And Lee has been amazing. If it wasn't for Lee, this book would not be. It would not flow the way it does, because she showed me. She highlighted where I needed to make it. Like, I thought I was a good writer, but like all this pink, I have to redo this. I had to learn a whole new way of writing. So then you had to edit and re-edit and re-edit. So it started out as just little snippets. It wasn't supposed to be a memoir. It was just supposed to be, hi, Valeria, just supposed to be some stories. And it was a lot of fun. And yeah, the little stories were easy. They gushed. Everything just gushed when I wrote them. But then when I had to go in and really like make them sound so a reader would want to read them, that was at times grueling, because there's some stories in there that were hard. They revealed a lot of truths. There were times where I was like, am I really going to put this out there? But I did. And that was the easiest part. The hardest, putting it out there, was easy. Once it was done, I'm like, whatever, like actually writing and rewriting was the hardest part, because as you read, some of them were difficult, and I couldn't believe that I was actually that person. So at the end of the chapter, when you have the shiny little bow, that's me today, the way I see things, the way it happened. Because at the time it was a mess, but now I see that the mess was pretty much, something I created. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the tools that I needed to see things differently. And I can see things differently today because I am in a program of recovery, and that makes all the difference in the world. So it's changed me, that program.
It has definitely changed you, because the woman that I read about in like the first half or 3/4 of the book is not the Bonnie that I know through recovery and working this program and working with other people and sharing everything that you've learned, that you share things so freely, and you help other women so much. And it's so beautiful. Like the amount, all the escapades, all the sex, there's a lot of sex, there's drinking, but honestly, you get more into your eating disorder in Love, Bonnie, versus like some of the crazy drinking that you went through. And in your eating disorder, you wrote that it started around 13 years old, or maybe, no, wait, 15, and maybe earlier than that. You were talking about, this was on page 22. I was only 15 when my mother decided I was looking somewhat bloated, and one of her water pills would help. Water pills, more commonly known as diuretics, are used to treat several medical conditions, including heart failure, high blood pressure, liver disease, and some types of kidney disease. They may also reduce swelling and water retention. You go on. And you're like, bless you. Your binging or your purging was with the use of diuretics. And my story, when my eating disorder, because I could never make myself throw up, and I was just very similar with you in that regard, but I didn't even really know that people use diuretics as a form of purging. I actually used laxatives, which was awful. But how many years were you using diuretics? You were on them for many, many decades, right?
17 years. Yeah, 17 years. But the actual binge, like the finding comfort in food, started from as far back as I could remember. But there was so much denial with that, I knew I had it, but then once the alcohol and drugs started mixing in, I was in denial with that. I was in denial with that too for the longest time. I didn't get sober till I was 51, and still I had issues with the eating, because I think the real thing where the denial ended with me, with the food, with the eating disorder, was when I wrote the book. I mean, I stopped purging, yes, but the binging got bad. Even in sobriety, I had some really bad days. So the book, actually, since the book came out, I'm like, you know what? There's no more denial here. Like, this is real. Like, it takes what it takes. Like, how many times do you have to do you have to find yourself lying in an alley with a bottle, which I wasn't lying in an alley, but to realize, maybe I can't drink. How many times does it have to happen? It takes what it takes. And that's one of the messages in the book. Like, don't ever give up hope, because it will happen if you're still breathing. If you're still breathing, and if you're one of the lucky ones, because Jackie, you and I are two of the lucky ones that are still breathing. We know many people that have gone out with eating disorders, drug addiction, alcoholism, all sorts of addictions, sex and love addictions that have died. So I have the chill,
I do too. It's really, really powerful. And I remember when I first came into recovery, I'm like, how come I get it? Like, I just wish that so many other people that suffer from addiction could get this, but it takes what it takes, just like what you said, Bonnie. And that gift of desperation was so great. And you described that gift of desperation so well in your book also. And you talked, because you went in and out of many different rehabs.
Yeah, probably 12, at least 12, long-term, short-term.
And one of the rehabs you were in there, and it was for your eating disorder, because that's the very first thing that you went in for. Mm-hmm. So you went in for your eating disorder, and they were asking you about drinking, and you're like, no, drinking is not, like, that's not, I can drink. But you actually were an alcoholic at that time, right?
I was an alcoholic from the first time I drank. Once I drank, it was blackout drinking, So yeah, I was an alcoholic.
Yeah. Talk about some of the crazy stories that happened. And like, how about your friend? So you have one of your girlfriends, she lives in, I think it was in your neighborhood, and she has the Hermes scarf. Was it the scarf?
Oh yeah, my friend. Yeah. Which, thank God, we're still friends. She's still a really dear friend of mine. But when I go to her house, she gave me a key, and I'd hang out with her and her dogs and her fiance when he was there, and my dog. And when she wasn't there, I was digging through her closet, and I stole from her. And I didn't steal money from her, but I stole from her, and the shame that I kept, because I stole an Hermes scarf, and then I also stole like a top. I couldn't wear it because I saw her all the time, so I had to hide it. What was the point of, just because I wanted it, I wanted what she had, we were talking on Instagram about how you had that relationship with your mom, like where you could hug your mom, and I wanted that. She had that with her daughter. So I was so jealous. Now I don't have to be jealous. I can be like, wow, they have something beautiful, And now with my mom, even though she's not here physically, I have that where I can embrace the love that she's given me. Despite all the stuff that was in the book, I love my mom. And I say that with truth. But while she was here, I hated her. So this book is about finding forgiveness as well. I was able to, through recovery, find forgiveness.
And it's so powerful, because regardless of what you have been through, I'm talking about you, the listener, regardless of what you've been through, you can always get through it, and you can find hope, and you can find an easier, softer way of living. Bonnie, you've been through so much: eating disorders, sexual traumas, with family, with multiple men, which I can relate to. So many different things, stealing from your friends. And like you said, and that's what you wrote in the book too. You're like, I can't even wear any of these clothes that I'm stealing, because I see these people, they're my friends. So like, you couldn't even take them. But what you wrote about in the book after that, and finding recovery, is you learned that you need to first love yourself, and you have this healthy respect for yourself and these healthy boundaries for yourself. So, I mean, the stories are insane. You guys have to get the book. You've got to read Love Bombing because the stories are so crazy. But again, this is not like, those stories are not the Bonnie I know. And the Bonnie I know is such a bright light, and you exude hope. You are a very, very big story of hope and love and kindness. So
Thank
I'd
you.
love for you to talk more about that and how you finally stumbled into learning about yourself and learning to love yourself.
So, you say the stories were funny and crazy, and yeah, I can laugh now, but during all while those stories were happening, I was miserable. I was filled with self-loathing, self-hatred for so many years. And it wasn't until I came into recovery that I started to even like myself, like I can say today I feel good about myself, be at peace with Bonnie. But it took a lot of years, and the way it happened is, just for me, a big thing was doing service and sponsoring other women in the program, and for them to say, you're really helping me. Well, I wasn't. All I was doing was passing on the knowledge that I'd read in a book, teaching them the steps, the way they were taught to me. So it wasn't really me. Or, going to a treatment center. I've been going to this treatment center um, since my first year in sobriety, and seeing people that are struggling. There were times when I couldn't walk down the aisle of, the wine aisle without wanting it. Now I don't even want it. But there are people in there that all they can think about. So I need to be reminded of that. So going in, I used to think, because I've been in so many treatment centers, is my life going to be like filled with like looking at these fluorescent lights with these people that are just miserable? Is that what it's going to be like? I want to go because it makes me feel good. There were days at the beginning of my recovery where I didn't feel so good, but I went anyway because I had this commitment to go. And I showed up and someone would say, we really appreciate you coming out today. Me, the one that was calling everybody, I can't, crying all the time and complaining all the time, like that I could make someone feel good, made me feel good. That's where my self-esteem came from. I always thought it came from, I have to look good and I have to, be perfect on the outside. And, I really started feeling, and women like you in the program, that just embraced me with my flaws, like on my worst day when I think I should be okay and I'm having a really rough day, and I can reach out and you say, it's okay, we love you anyway, you know, and friends that too that aren't in the program that love me for me, and that's really a gift. I didn't see that before. It was all like, what can you give me? What can you give me? Or love me, love me. If you love me, I'm going to be okay. So I've learned how to, I don't know if that answered the question.
No, it absolutely did. And it's so crazy. And it seems counterintuitive that when you're going through a tough time, that you should reach out and help others. But that is one of the things that we learned in the program, like doing service and giving back. It helps get us out of our head and whatever's going on. I remember like it was around the second year in my recovery. And that's when my stepdad had a massive stroke, and it was awful. Like it sent our family, and it was just really hard because it was just a lot. And then like 3 or 4 months later, my mother was diagnosed with an ultra rare disease, almost died. And I was so overwhelmed. And normally, like back in the day when I was drinking, I would drink for every single emotion, happy, sad, like big bonus, no bonus, like every single emotion. And normally, like if that would have happened before, I would have been so drunk. But then now that I was in recovery, I didn't even think about drinking, just like what you described. And I was able to be there for my family when they needed me the most. And just like you said, it felt good to be there for them and help others. Like that is how we build up our self-esteem again and start loving ourselves. And you also put it very beautifully on our Instagram live that, you know, it's really important that you do service and you give back and you help other women, but you also have to have those boundaries for yourself, because you can want to go like crazy and help everyone, but then you're neglecting yourself, and that can actually cause more harm. So can you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, that even now, you know, like since this book came out, thank God. I mean, it's making a lot of people are like, I read it in a day, and I'm so happy that it's making people happy. But the influx of people like from my past calling me and my friends calling me, and then, you know, people in the program and then, you know, there's things that I need to do for myself. I have to kind of just set my boundaries and say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, but I just need to step back because I need to make sure that I'm getting enough sleep. I can't be hungry. I can't be angry. I can't be lonely. I have to be tired. I can't be tired. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Halt. Right? You know, you, Jackie, were a major help for me. You know, when I was struggling with an eating disorder that was like raging out of control. You know, plant chicks helped me so much. You were my coach, and I didn't know what to do. It was like, how many things can I write down, and calories, and this fitness journal and that fitness app, and am I counting macros, am I counting calories, am I doing this? You taught me a way that I don't have to drive myself crazy. You know, I know how to eat. So that's taken care of, but I have to do that. I have to make sure I eat my 3 meals and my snacks every day. You know, if I get too hungry, I'm going to be crazy. So I can't do that, you know? So I've learned how to take care of myself. If something's, I've learned also that, you know, I should do this. I need to do this. Well, you know, this morning I woke up, I had so much to do. I'm like, okay, what do I really want to do? What do I need to do today? Let's keep it simple. Like, let's do 3 or 4 things, you know, that's it, you know, and that's it. Everything else can wait. You know, nothing's that important. Nothing is that important that I can put anyone or anything in front of me. I have to take care of me first. So otherwise I'm useless to everybody else.
It's true. Just like they say on the airlines when you're flying, if the oxygen mask comes down, put it on yourself first, and then your loved ones or dependents. Because if we are not filling up our cup, then we are of no value, or we're not as of much value as we could be if we would fill our cup first. And you guys, this did not happen overnight. Bonnie, how long were you in and out trying to become the woman that you are now? Like, how long did it take you to get to where you are today?
Well, you know, 60, I think I'm going to be 63 in August. So 62 plus whatever amount of days it is, you know, took me to where I am today. You know, I think we're all here to be on this journey. You know, we don't ever arrive. You know, I'm happy at the place that I'm content. I'm peaceful with where I am today. And I don't feel like I need to go anywhere. I feel like I have everything I need. Do I have goals? Yes. But I finally feel like I'm in a really good place. And I'm sure I felt like that before at other times, it's just for today. I've learned that it's just for today, right?
Yes. And even when you were going down like in the deep thralls of it was right around your 10th sober anniversary that you were really in a dark place. And you guys, Bonnie reached out to me when she was 10 years sober, longer than I had. You have way more sobriety than me. You work an incredible program. I respect you so much. But this, when you reached out to me, when you were just so down, I can't tell you how much that helped me. Because seeing you, this beautiful beacon of light, like Beth, I think wrote that, you're a beacon of light, and I totally agree, that having this beacon of light, who I think is so amazing, I love you so much, having you reach out to me when you were in the deepest, darkest pit, it showed me that is not burdensome on someone, because I really respected you for reaching out to me in times of trials and tribulations. And it showed me that this is what we need to do. So it wasn't a burden for you to reach out to me. And now that has also made that phone less heavy for me when things are really tough, that I can now reach out to you, and I can reach out to a couple of my other really close girlfriends when I'm going through a really hard time. And even when you were in your deepest, darkest time, you even said you didn't drink. You're like, I'm not going to drink or drug. And you knew that this too would pass. You were just waiting for this to happen, though. I mean, it was hard, but it was beautiful that you leaned in and you relied on us, on some of your tight friends. It was beautiful to see and beautiful to be a part of.
Until I stopped and I cut everybody off, you know. And then I have friends, you know, that aren't in the program, you know, like my friend Miguel, who came to my house and said, you can't just wait in your house to die. You know, you can't do that. I'm so blessed to have people that took me in, you know. Him and his mom took me into their home and made their home my home. And, you know, I am so blessed to have so many amazing people in my life that really care for me, because I didn't think I could care for myself. I've learned that I can care for myself, you know. I forget what I was going to say, but yeah, I know what I was going to say. I realize that we are the people that like, I used to look at you and I used to be like, that girl, she's so pretty with the hair, with the personality, she's so bubbly. Then I got to know you and I realized, you know, I love you so much, you know. It's like what we see in other people, like my friend Beth, you know, is writing, you're a beacon of light. You're a beacon of light. You know, what we see in others is what we are, you know. I wanted to be like my friend Miguel when I moved to Miami. Like, I wanted to be this great dancer, you know. I take his classes and I wanted to be that. And I realized I am. We surround ourselves with people. Hi, Mikey. We surround ourselves with people that we want to be like. You asked me earlier on Instagram, you know, how did you get all this contact with the angels? Like, I started with Gregory and then Michael, Mikey David, who just came on. His workshops, like, just made everything so much clearer for me, you know. And by surrounding myself with people that are light like that, I'm in the light. If I want to surround myself with people that are miserable in the darkness, that's who I'm going to be. But if I surround myself, so even in my darkest times, I was blessed to surround myself with great people in the light, you know, that I guess I was, you know, like, I see now that I was that light too. Light attracts light, not darkness, right?
Correct. No. And I love that you brought that up, because like, whenever there's times when I'm with my mother and she's lazy, she's doing these things, it's like all of my negative attributes that drive me crazy that I'm seeing in my mom, because it's like a mirror, like I'm holding that mirror up, just like what you said. And I was talking to another friend the other day, and I never thought about it. I only thought about that mirror when I'm in, like, I'm like not feeling good. Like, I'm irritable, discontent. And I'm like, all right, what is that person? They're bringing something up. Like, it's a quality that I have that I need to work on for myself. But I never thought about it, Bonnie, and exactly what you just said. When you surround yourself, like when you are around people that you love being around, they're fun, they're light, they just have that bright light. It's also because that's part of your mirror. And it's so important that we do start recognizing our good qualities. Yeah, we all have things that we need to work on, but we need to start working on self-love, which is 1000% what your book is about. And you really did find self-love, and it's beautiful that you are now a woman that you always wanted to be, and you were always looking for someone to make you that amazing, strong, beautiful woman, and you had it in you all along, and now you're showing it, and your life is glowing up more and more. You always wanted to be famous and you wanted to be a Broadway star. I'm telling you, Love Bonnie, you guys got to get it. This is so good. And I said this on the Instagram live. I can't wait for part 2 or whatever's next. I will read whatever you write because your writing is just, it's tantalizing. I want more, more, more. Like I couldn't put the book down. It's so incredible.
Thank you. And more like, yes, of course. Oh, I wanted to be famous. I wanted to be a star and all that. That's true. But what I love about what's happening with this book is it's not so much about being famous for me. It's about, I wanted like, you know, like if you're a star on Broadway, you're up there, you're entertaining, you're doing what you love. I did what I love. Like I had so much passion writing this book. I loved it. As frustrating and hard as it was at times, I did what I loved. And now it's making people happy. It's making people happy. And people are telling me like that, you know, it's inspiring, which is really nice, you know, like to make people feel good. That's what I wanted, to be up there making people feel good, you know? So if I can be out there making other people feel good, mission accomplished, dream accomplished, life dream accomplished, never give up hope. Like I tell a friend of mine, you know, she knows someone and she's like, he's never going to get it. He's an addict. He's never going to get it. I'm like, he's still breathing, right? There's always hope. She goes, but you're different. You're bright. You're like, she didn't know me when. She didn't know the Bonnie that you read in the book. She didn't know that Bonnie. I was dark. I was hating everybody, you know? I can either hate people and be miserable, or I could say that's someone that I want to be like. I can try to be around them, surround myself with them, and realize that I'm not any different than anybody. We all bring our own uniqueness to the table. All of us.
We do.
So,
no, sorry, go ahead.
no, that's it. That's it.
Bonnie, your book is all about hope. Like you're a very good storyteller. In each of the chapters, you just like hook, line, and sinker. You get us in. And I'm not the only person. I've got several friends who have read the book, and they like there's group text talking about how good the book is. And you are
my editor. I gotta shout out again to Lee Michael who turned me on to Lee because that's why. Because when I did it, it might not have been like that. She was amazing. But so yeah.
Well, your writing is so good, and yes, the two of you work well together because it's so well done. And I love that you have like all these affirmations. It's starting on page 235. I love pretty much all of them. The first one is so good. It's impossible to be honest with anyone unless I'm honest with myself. Being true to myself is my key to happiness. It will keep me living with integrity. And that's what you are now. You live with integrity. And there's so many stories that you share about your life before where you were not living with integrity, where you're going out, you're sleeping with married men, with boyfriends, with like all these different people. You are stealing from friends. You're like, there's so many things, but every story at the end, you wrap it up and you have like a glimmer of hope. And you're also showing that you are not the victim and where you recognize where you were doing wrong. And then you get to talk about how you're writing everything now. And you're creating the life of your dreams. So, so powerful.
Thank you. Aw, that's amazing. It's still hard to believe when I hear that, you know, thank you.
No, it's so amazing. And your friend, the artist in here, I have to say, and I forgot to say this on Instagram, but I think my next tattoo is on page 257.
I love it. That's the heart with angel wings. He's so brilliantly talented, and we communicated for the artwork on the cover. Let me grab the cover. So the artwork, you know, I wanted his art on the cover, and so this art, that heart with angel wings is the same heart, but I just filled it in. He gave me liberty to do what I wanted with his art. So I did, these are his stars, this is his lining. I kind of traced everything, and that's my signature in there, but he's so talented. And I wrote about him in the book. And then, you know, I did a little gallery with his stuff in the back because he is so talented. And the fact that you say that, did you just say this or you told me earlier that you wanted, yeah, you said you want your next tattoo maybe to be that. That's what I wanted. I wanted to do something for him because right now he's in a place where he's not out in the world and out and about promoting himself, you know, so I wanted to do that for him. And that alone, you know, even before the book was out, you know, people were like, you know, I wish you the best of luck. Well, it's been wonderful. It's been amazing. You know, I reconnected with my cousins and my aunt who I hadn't spoken to in 20 years. You know, I, you know, just so many gifts came about from I've met some incredible people from doing this. So it's been such a gift for me, you know, and I hope that, you know, for, you know, I'm happy to hear that the people that are reading it are loving it. And of course, the people that are not loving it are not calling me up and saying, oh, I hated your book. It was a nightmare. You know, what a mess.
I don't think that person exists.
I don't care. If they did, like my friend said to me, what are you going to do if it gets really big and if people start criticizing you? And I don't care. You know, I don't care. You know, but I love him for asking that question because I have people that really look out for me, you know, and that's
Definitely.
a really, you know, when I wasn't looking out for myself, you know, and now I look out for me too, which is also a gift.
That is a true gift. And I love what you also just said. Like, this book is your memoir, but you didn't want it to be just about yourself because you're not that self-absorbed person that you write about in the beginning of the book. And you include your friend's artwork in here because you didn't want it to just be about you and you wanted to share other people's light. And you share so many people's stories in here too, or your version of the story. And it's beautiful. I'm so glad that you put all of this in writing and you're sharing your memoir because it's so, so good. Where can people, and Luna, say hi to Luna, everybody. Your little angel. But Bonnie, where can people get your book?
People can go to my Instagram page, which is Luna, Lola, Lucy, or my Facebook page, Love Bonnie, or my Facebook regular, Bonnie Salco. And there's a link. They can click on it. And no matter where you are in the world, you can click, and Amazon is selling the book. Right now, it's just with Amazon. And Beautiful. It's just print. It's not an audiobook yet. It's not Kindle yet. It's just in print. So
do you think you're going to do Kindle or Audible?
Maybe Audible. Yes. I think I'm working on that first, you know, because I have a friend that's hearing impaired and she actually, you know, I would like to do that. But yeah, Kindle eventually.
That would be amazing. And I love that all the support and love that you're getting here on Facebook and YouTube. I know Bonnie and saw her writing on Facebook. I saw how talented of a writer she was. Seriously, your writing is so incredible. And I can't imagine all that editing process. It sounds like a crazy nightmare, but hopefully one day I will get a story out too, but it will not be anything as amazing as this. Your book is so good, Bonnie. You guys have to get it.
I'm not that unique. And you know what? If you have a good editor, you know, they won't redo it for you. You'll redo it. You'll do the writing because she kept my personality. But you know, she shortened sentences. But I didn't know that formatting a book, like when you format a book, you know, you can't have like one word on a page. Like she did so much work that I had no idea, like the way that, you know, like my friend's stars, you know, are here. And then each chapter, you know, starts with his little heart, you know, and she was so patient. Like she just so my vision could come to creation, you know, like I pray that you get an editor as amazing as I had. That's really, because it's not just me, it's like a team effort, you know, and it's everyone in that book that maybe is never even going to read that book that helped make up my story. And people like you that are, you know, special shout outs too, you know, like I love you very much.
I love you too, Bonnie. And you're getting more and more things. You're doing some lives. Where else can people find you this week, or what do you have coming up so people can keep following you and get her book, you guys? Love Bonnie on Amazon.
I just got a message from a woman named Gloria who does this Miami Community News. Um, um, I'm doing her I guess podcast or something on Monday. I'm doing Ivy's Inspirations on YouTube, which I'll post on Facebook tomorrow with Ivy, who's really beautiful. You did an interview with her, and I got the referral from Gloria through my friend Neil, who started an organization which you guys should definitely hear about. It's called the Phoenix Life Project, I think, and it's about, the Surfside collapse. It's going to be next weekend is going to be the 1-year anniversary. So he started an organization for trauma survivors and for the rescue workers and all that. There's a huge event at the St. Regis. There'll be a link on my page if you want to get tickets to that or support that. So it takes a village, it takes a village. It takes a village. He referred me. I was having dinner with him and he referred me to Gloria, and it's amazing how people helping people get, that's how, not me, that's something that we learn in the program. And that's something, it was a big thing at the gym that I was at Equinox for many years. And we together, we can do everything. And, just me left to my own devices in my head, I'm not too good. Unless I'm being quiet and connecting with something greater than me. So.
And you are constant. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about you, because your spirituality and the angels that you see, it's so beautiful. All the signs that you see, you've opened my eyes to so many different things. And I now see more signs than what I did before. The universe is beautiful. There are no coincidences. Like when things happen, you're like, oh, that's so weird. I was just thinking about you and you just called me, because you're putting it out in the universe. And it's beautiful when you become more attuned to that. And Bonnie, your book and you are just filled with so much hope and inspiration. Thank you so much for writing this. And
thank you.
To see you glow up, continue to glow up and inspire so many people. So many.
Thank you. You met Mikey, David. You met him. You've done some of his things. So yeah, I didn't really meditate until with him I got so deep into meditation. And his book also talks about, getting into meditation and all that and mediumship. And, I love that kind of stuff. Hi, Terry. Terry, by the way, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. Are these phenomenal or what?
Phenomenal. And yeah. Terry, who's
so
up there right now, did she sell them or did she just make them?
What? No, she made them. I see her wearing them all the time, and I'm like, I have to have those. And I actually saw her yesterday, and I said I have to have a pair of those because they're so beautiful. She's so talented.
Talented.
Wearing them.
So amazing. And you are beautiful. Bonnie, I can't wait. I'm going to follow you and make sure that I watch all your lives and give you the love. But you guys grab her book on Amazon. Love Bonnie.
And you guys check out Jackie and Marcia on Plant Chicks because they're amazing. You don't have to be all plant-based, but she will inspire you to eat healthy and eat what's, good for your body. So they're amazing. Jackie, you're amazing. Thank you for doing this. Thank you, everybody who's listening. Bye.
Love you guys. Have an amazing day. And Bonnie, thank you so much. You're amazing. Keep shining bright.
You too. Bye.
Bye.